In this video, we're going to go through my Mount Rushmore of NBA players. More about that in this video. Welcome to Public Talks, everybody. I'm your host, Kenneth Glenn, and today I'm going to be giving you my Mount Rushmore of NBA basketball players. The finals have been officially set. I've been waiting to make this video when the finals were official. And then, I was going to make this video the other day, actually. And then the Timberwolves actually ended up beating the Mavericks. And then the Mavericks have finally won. The finals are finally set. It's going to be the Celtics versus the Mavericks. So now I'm here to make this video. I've been playing this video for about a month. I didn't really know who to put on this list because I have so many basketball players I like. And I didn't want to make this of just a list of basketball players I like, because if I did, then 3 of the 4 people that are on this list wouldn't be on this list. I tried to make it more balanced of who I think are the most important basketball players. So, without further ado, let's get into this list. So, first person on my Mount Rushmore, it's obvious, it's Michael Jordan. He is the definitive basketball player. He is the NBA. It's kind of hard to think of the NBA without Michael Jordan. No, I just couldn't imagine the NBA without a Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is considered to be the GOAT on pretty much everyone who has common sense at least. Everyone considers Jordan to be the GOAT. Everyone's like, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that take. I don't dislike the take. If you think Jordan's the GOAT, then yeah, sure, that's fine. But I personally, I just don't think he is. But no, 6 rings, 35,000 points or something like that. He's averaged the most per game. And there's literally no argument against Jordan. Everyone tries to bring up how he played in a weak era or whatever, and it's just not true. None of this is true. Jordan is just number one. He is just an amazing player all around, and that is why he ranks number one. Plus, he was the one that did he started the shoe brand stuff, and Jordan is there's a reason why he is the highest paid athlete of all time. I can't go through enough why he is number one. He's the number one basketball player of all time. Now, in my opinion, not skill-wise, but that's for another time. Number 2 on my list is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the center most people think about when they think about the NBA. Maybe Shaq is like number 2 that people think about. But most people, when they think centers, they think about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And yeah, he's like one of the best. He's not the best center in my opinion, but he is the center that defines the NBA. When you think of NBA players, Kareem is the center people think about usually. Most people who don't even watch basketball or think about basketball know who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. Most people could tell you, oh yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I know who that is. And he's an old player. This is an older player, and everyone knows who he is. So there's a reason why he was the highest scorer of all time for the longest time, for 40 years. And LeBron beat it recently. But the idea that Kareem was a center who only scored 2-point shots his whole career. Like half of Kareem's career, he only could make 2-point shots because there was no 3-point line for half his career. And he was still the highest scorer of all time. It just shows you that Kareem is a phenomenal player. I think he was the all-time blocks leader at one point as well. And he has a ton of championships. So yeah, Kareem is number 2 on my list. Number 3 on my list is my personal favorite basketball player of all time, and who I think the GOAT is. It is Larry Bird. Larry Bird, I can't tell you enough. Larry Bird is phenomenal. He could do it all. He could shoot, pass, dribble, drive to the rim. He's a good defender, and he's a really good rebounder. People don't even realize how good of a rebounder Larry Bird is. I don't understand. No one understands this. Larry Bird is probably the top 10 greatest rebounder of all time. He's in the top 10 list of being a greatest rebounder of all time. He's definitely not a Moses Malone or a Dennis Rodman by any chance, but he's definitely one of the best. Bird can literally do it all. And remember, Bird is one of the best rebounders of all time while being on a team with Bill Walton, Robert Parrish, and Kevin McHale. That is insane. The idea that you have like three really, really talented big men. You have Kevin McHale, who's like one of the best power forwards of all time. You have Bill Walton, who I would argue is a top 5 center of all time. And you have Robert Parrish, who is he in his time, he's really great. I don't think he ranks super high all time, but like at the time he was playing, he was one of the best centers in the league. And Larry Bird's considered the best rebounder, or one of the better rebounders on that team. Just shows you how good Bird is. Bird could do it all. He was clutch. And here's the thing no one talks about Bird's career. Everyone talking about how Bird was slow and stuff like, which he wasn't. Bird was actually very fast. He was quick. He was amazing. And Bird did it with a broken back. In 1986, Larry Bird broke his spine. Actually broke his spine. Never got it fixed, and he played with that broken spine for years. For the rest of his career. And he's sitting there crossing up Pippen and Jordan with a broken spine. It's wild to me. I'm sorry, Bird is the best basketball player of all time. He is. He is just most talented. He's the toughest. I saw there was a game. He was playing against the Pacers. He broke his eye socket, went to the hospital, came back, and then won the game. Like, Bird is him. Bird is the best. And you can talk about the Magic and Bird debate all you want. Who's better? Bird is the better player in that debate. It's just so clear. And most of the time when Magic beat Bird, it was usually because Bird had some sort of injury. For example, in 1987, I'm pretty sure Bird had a broken hand the whole time. So, like, every time he's shooting, like, it's just difficult to shoot because his hand's broken. Just Bird is so tough. He's amazing, dude. I can sit here all day and talk about how great of a basketball player Bird is. Bird is the greatest of all time. And that's why he's number 3 on my list. Number 4. There are so many people I wanted to put on this list and who I've considered for this list. My top 3 were pretty much set in stone when I first started this list idea. And then number 4 is hard. I've considered Dr. J. I've considered Kobe. I've considered Magic. I've considered Shaq. I've considered Will Chamberlain. So who did I pick? It's hard. It's a hard pick because Dr. J. He was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan even was in the NBA. And then Shaq. He's like the second most dominant center of all time behind Will. And then you have Kobe, who's just MJ 2.0. He's a Michael Jordan who's better at shooting threes. So that's crazy. So who am I going to put on this list? I went with Magic. Magic Johnson. Call me biased towards the 80s. Whatever. That's fine, I am. But Magic Johnson is another all-around player. And usually when people think about basketball, especially like basketball before the 2000s, they usually think of Magic, Bird, and MJ. Those are the 3 people think about. Magic is a phenomenal passer. He's not a bad three-point shooter at all. If you watch the All-Star game of 1992, I think it was. I mean, he was a phenomenal three-point shooter. He was draining threes left and right in that game. Magic is just so good. He won, 5 championships? The first season of his career, he won a championship. The first year of his career, he won a championship by himself. Kareem was injured. He played the center position to cover Kareem, and he won the finals by himself, pretty much by himself. That is phenomenal. Magic is so underrated. The idea that Magic isn't considered a top 5 player on every single person's list is baffling to me. Magic is just so good. He could do it all. He averaged the most assists per game. He was a pretty good scorer himself. He kind of lacked on defense a little bit, but not so much where you can call him like a liability. Like Steve Nash, for example, he is a defensive liability. He could not play defense at all. Magic, he wasn't that bad. Magic's the best point guard of all time as well. Magic could do it all. And that is about it for my list. Give your thoughts down below. I hope you liked the video, guys. Please leave a comment, subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.